Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon, where this very peaceful music is how we're going to start Rumple's bad ending. I swear, if the last two times I've done a bad ending, the guys ended up being killed horribly, and I don't want that to happen again. But we will see. Anyway, we'll start with our first option here, and when we're going to ask him to be our partner. Last time we turned and walked away from him, but this time we're going to continue walking towards him. He's just going to insist I come back. If there's one thing I've learned about Rumple, it's that he's persistent. Why do you look so surprised? I had assumed you would just walk away like you always do. But I can take this as a good sign, yes? You really did want to see me, Princess. The silent treatment only makes this all the more mysterious, Princess. And the mysterious is always exciting. What is he rambling on about now? Rumple, why would you deal with someone like her? Because he has no choice. So we're going to skip ahead to the next one. I always skip just in case there's any changes in dialogue. Usually it's only little things, but sometimes. Okay, last time we slapped him. Because I'm like, he needs to be woken up badly. This time we'll pull our hand away while he's in his trance. He has such a strange look on his face. Slowly, I try to pull my hand away, but Rumple holds tightly to it. The sadness in his eyes becomes intense anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? What? Sir? Rumple squeezes my hand a little too tightly. He looks at me desperately. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me go. I finally manage to pry my hand free. Rumple looks at me for a few moments, almost bewildered, and then his eyes suddenly widen. He looks back at the journal, then at me. Oh, I think I blanked out. I'm sorry, Princess. Interesting. So he was very appreciative that we slapped him last time, which was funny. Okay, and this time we're gonna accept the gift, even though you'd never do that with a narcissist. Don't ever do it. I'm not used to receiving gifts out of the blue. What a shame. I would give you so many gifts if I could, Princess. Why? Because people are moved by gifts when they come from the heart. I take the small bag from Rumple's hand and look at it for a few moments. Okay. A thank you and an apology gift. We got our nice lilies in the corner here. When there's no skipping. Lilies. Alright, we're not going to make a fool out of ourselves. This is one thing I'm really okay with on this route. We're not going to flirt. Ma'am? My face is hot, but not with embarrassment. The more I think about Rumple's proposal, the more irritated I become. It's nothing. His eyebrows fall a little bit as I frown at him. I never smile when I serve food, and everyone knows that. Perhaps for a few moments this man was hopeful. But hopeful for what exactly? Thank you for the food. I cannot believe that Rumple wanted me to flirt with a man I do not even know. Just the thought of it makes me annoyed. I turn to stride away, my feet thumping too heavily on the floor. He's like, I messed up. I've messed up here. No crystals, 'cause I messed up. No, this I feel bad for. Not apologizing to Anise. It is not her fault that the doll was in the shape that it was. I fired her prematurely, even if she didn't give me the entire story. But she could be lying to me. She says she did not bring it up before because she was ashamed, but it is far more likely that she's just making excuses for her incompetence. But then, what reasons would she have for telling me that now? My heart plummets to the pit of my stomach, and suddenly I feel dizzy and irritated. So she's still downcast, even when I don't apologize to her. Ah, see? New dialogue sometimes. I do not understand why, but I feel terrible after hearing the truth from a niece. Should I have forgiven her? No, she deserved to be fired for not being as competent as she needed to be. This time we'll ask him if he meant it. Did you really mean that compliment?
Of course I did. I told you, right? Making a person happy is a good deed. I wanted to show you that.
Rumple's compliments do make people happy, even if I do find his words to be very shallow. But that felt different.
Flattery is wonderful, but it usually only concerns complimenting a woman's physical appearance. Though I do that really well, don't I?
I thought in that dialogue he mentioned me apologizing to a niece. But nothing changed there, apparently. Alright, we're gonna keep walking this time.
It is picturesque, isn't it, Princess?
It is, but this still does not lead back to the Marchen.
No, but I figure taking this detour is safer. If someone is watching you, they're less likely to follow us straight to the Marchen.
Safer? But it is just the two of us.
I have faith that I would be able to protect you, Princess. Also, the forest is a maze in and of itself.
I suddenly stop and let my hand fall away from his as I stare up at him. I wasn't expecting that level of cleverness from Rumple. Rumple looks proud of himself. I'm so proud of my cleverness. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my room. I should not bother him. What was that, Princess? It is nothing. If you don't want to bother Rumple, you can always spend some time down here with me. I could give you some advice about your good deeds, too. You. I stare at him. Karma puts a hand over his chest and sighs dramatically. Oh, I'm offended, Princess. There's the Claude I know. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Delora looking expectantly at Karma. He notices her and then sighs out dramatically. Oh, if I had more time, I would give you advice. Karma walks off, and I consider his words. And after a few moments, I shake the words from my mind and start walking. As I'm heading up to my room, I hesitate, knowing Rumple's door is close by. Earlier, he looked so stressed. I think I should go see him. So she went anyway, like a big old patoot. Alright, so you saved that guy. And this time I'm not going to defend my boo. I'm going to watch from afar. Karma's trying to get in on this. This is their fight. I have no reason to jump in to defend anyone. I watch their fight from the middle of the staircase. The two of them never seem to notice me standing there.
I have never lied to the princess. Sometimes people might assume different intentions of my flattery, but I never lie.
That's exactly what a liar would say to defend himself when he knows that he's been caught.
Liar? The only liar here is you.
Excuse me, I'll have you know that I never lie.
Then what's this about Miss Karma, One moment you say it's a disguise, the next moment you say...
Rumple flinches back as Karma stands taller and clenches his hands into fists. I begin to make my way down the staircase. I come to a stop in between the two men, who seem surprised to see me. I'm about to speak, but the sound of footsteps distracts me. Jurian got there before I could say anything about anything. You two became friends later, at least. I'm gonna let Bria steal my man. Ugh. This is the truth. There's nothing I can do about it. Don't worry, dear. I can help fill in the gaps for him. And his journals are at our house. You've probably already helped him by simply being there for him this entire time. Tell me, what do you go by now? Until we figure out your name, I need something to call you.
Rumple.
He looks so dejected, so sad. His eyes flit to me briefly, then back to Bria. He smiles, but I know Rumple enough that I can tell it is a forced smile.
And my partner, Lucette, she has helped me.
He called me his partner instead. I'm sorry I made you so sad. I'm already getting sad. We're not even near the end yet. Okay, now this time I'm gonna butt in. I step out from behind the fountain and slowly make my way over to the table. Bria looks up and around. After a few moments, her eyes fall on me. She immediately scowls.
What are you doing here?
I came to see if you were lying to Rumple.
What?
That didn't play out too differently. I'm surprised it made that much of a difference to you. I was expecting a lot more shouting and whatever. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm not as strong as I used to be. I rub at my eyes as Rumple looks at me with a quiet smile. He could be talking about his own problems, but instead he is trying to comfort me. Parfait and Delora told me about something they were keeping hidden from me. They told me something about Mother. And it does not make any sense to me because everything that they are saying makes her a villain.
Even villains are often misunderstood or have trying circumstances.
Okay. Rumple slowly reached out to rest his hand on top of mine. We're back to the same old. He's like, you're not as strong as I thought you were. Now I'm fainting. And I'm not struggling. I'm really ill in this route. My body is so weak anyway. Even if I wanted to struggle, I would not be able to. I slowly lean my head against his chest.
Princess? You can see that you need help?
No.
Still so stubborn.
There is indistinct murmuring behind him that probably belongs to the girls. Rumple responds to them in a low voice.
Stubborn she may be, but my sweet princess is stronger than any other woman I've ever known.
That drawing was so cute. And Mother just trashed it. In my feelings when I was little. You have beautiful eyes. Now we can stare into his velvet violet eyes. Does he ever truly mean his compliments? I know he spoke about meaning everything that he says, but I continue to stare at him. I do not look away even once, though I do feel a slight shudder run through me when Rumple keeps my gaze.
Fierce as always.
He removes his finger but does not step back. We are still so close I can feel his breath. Fierce?
You. Never backing down from anything. Always resisting, always putting up a wall. That's what I
love about you. His words falter and then he simply stops what he was saying. He looks at me again. Forget confessions. Bleh. I'm interested though. Are you guys still gonna kiss? No thank you. Did Delora just compliment me? I feel surprisingly light. Rumple was right. A genuine compliment does make me feel good, but does she truly mean it? Still no thank you, huh? Well, we'll have to work on that. Delora. What? You always ruin the mood, don't you? I forgot that Parfait's still alive. Ugh, don't die this time. Is it so wrong to get my hopes up when all I want is for the princess to thank me once? You did curse her. Not many Fairytale Curse victims thank the casters. Touché. This is true. And no comment about my thank you being sweet nectar of the honey of the gods, blah blah blah. Hey, Varg. I'm gonna stay in my room this time. Knowing everyone, if I tried to lead the march and they would get riled up again. I've already had Delora come in so many times to make sure I'm still here. I sit up on my bed and stare at the bag of journals beside my bedside table. Are we snooping? And here I was looking forward to giving those journals to him. I am still here, Delora. Rumple stands in the doorway. I stare at the bouquet he has in his hand, wondering where he got it and what it might be for.
Ah, there she is, the wonderful Princess Lucette. I was worried you had come and gone with the wind again, free spirit that you are.
I stand as he steps into the room. I'm crying. And this time I say it like this. You love me? What?
I do. I love you.
But Chevalier smiles at me and gives me a smooch. Still. Alright, we still smooch, so she still got them feelings. Okay, I don't have to go through all the questions again. No more questions. Is there anything I can do to help? I am not sure if I am capable of helping. I cannot use a sword and I cannot use magic, which or not.
In this position, Princess, you are not safe. If Myth got a hold of you too.
I feel Chevalier's fingers on my wrist. They tense as he looks at me somberly. It's weird now seeing Waltz the Small back. I gotta get used to this.
Princess, it's not safe. Even the king himself was overtaken.
But I can help so long as we have the element of surprise. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, this time I'm gonna be really bad at biology. The abdomen? There are many organs in the abdomen, right? And there are no ribs blocking the way.
A good guess, but
his eyebrows furrow.
A person can still survive that kind of wound. You're actually likely to die faster if they stab you through the liver or some other major vein or artery. Still, what you're suggesting would allow people to live for a long while without treatment. Most would probably die from either infection or blood loss. The place you'd actually want to stab or slice is a part of the neck.
Okay. Well, now I know that for later. Bad ending is probably me stabbing Mithros instead. I'm actually going to go quietly with you, Varg, and disappoint you. I stare at him resolutely, but my heart is sinking, and any hope I am holding on to is quickly sinking with it. There is nothing I can do in this situation. He could easily muffle my words and maybe even gag me. If I'm not careful, he might even kill me. And I cannot die here.
Nothing. I thought you'd at least try resisting a little. But if you're not going to act first, then I will.
He's still drugged me. Shoot, it didn't pay to go quietly at all. Yeah, that box. What is in that box? Is it what Waltz needs? And I'm going to complicate things even further with my last choice. 'Tis I, Crown Princess Lucette of Brighton. This is my chance to prove to them that I'm the princess. The king never believed me before, but here I can convince him. I am indeed the Crown Princess Lucette of Brighton. I told you before, your majesty, but I was cursed and you did not believe me. Now no one remembers who I am.
I would remember my own daughter.
I flinch. A pained look comes onto the king's face as he stares at me. Mithras is smiling slyly at the end of the table, looking pleased by the further confusion I have caused. Is his purpose to only confuse everyone further? What kind of mind game is he playing? The best kind. Okay, so the rescue is going underway. Unraveled. Oh, the golden spool's been unraveled. Oh no, I'm worried. Alright, sip of water, let's do this. Chevalier, snap out of it! Ah, just look at all of these men you cannot save. All of these men dying before your eyes. Chevalier, we have to get away from here. How many people have you really saved? In the grand scheme of things, you have no talent. That is why you sought help from a witch. Magic. Mithras' voice is oddly calm, and I can feel some sort of presence in the air that is different from normal. A knight plunges a sword through another's gut, causing him to lose his sword. The sword skitters across the floor, gleaming underneath the moonlight. I look desperately at Chevalier and realize that the magic is already working its way into him. He does not see anyone except for Mithras, who is still smiling at him from behind all of the knights. I slowly inch backwards, making a show of looking at Chevalier. Neither Mithras nor Chevalier seem to see me. I will protect you, Chevalier. I will do whatever it takes, even if I have to kill someone. Ooh. Wow! Okay, things are gonna end pretty rapidly, I think. If I kill Chevalier, like I did Karma, I'm gonna flip. I pluck the sword from the ground and grasp it at the hilt. It feels heavy in my hand, but I ignore the weight. I rush down the hallway with the sword, weaving my way to the side so that I am out of the way of the knights fighting each other. I look squarely at Mithras. And then, suddenly, Chevalier's eyes flicker to me, only momentarily, but enough for me to know that he is no longer looking at Mithras in a daze. I turn back and see Chevalier rubbing his hand across his eyes. Mithras snaps his finger, and two of the fighting knights turn and rush toward me. Ugh! The knights manage to back me into a corner of the wall. I hold the blade out as they bear down on me and close my eyes. My hands shake on the hilt, but I stand resolute, ready for the blow. But it does not come. Who died for me this time? Moments before the knights raise their sword, I am aware of breath on my cheek and beautiful violet eyes staring into my own. Lucette! Gosh, no! They keep dying on me! My boos, I'm so sorry! But the word ends in a gasp as a blade is buried deep into Chevalier's chest. Oh no! Dude. It's just in the chest though. There's ribs there. You told me this. His words fade as his hands slide down on either side of me. He slumps and his head falls to my shoulder. No! A raw sound escapes my throat as I feel the warmth leave Chevalier's body. You lied to me about the ribs! Chevalier! I scream his name and he looks up, but his eyes do not see me. They are somewhere far away. Mithras pulls Chevalier's body down to the ground, where it falls with a terrible thud. Oh! Now that's a sword through the heart, this word. Inconsequential. I am deaf to Mithras' words. I slump down beside Chevalier, my hands reaching for his. His eyes are still open, but the light in them is gone. No! Tears stream down my face. I cannot breathe. I cannot hear my heart. Everything is quiet and dark. Chevalier! Now that the obstacle is gone, you have nothing left, princess. Mithras' hands reach for me. I attempt to lift the sword, but he knocks it easily out of my hands. Are you truly the queen's daughter? The queen never cried. She was the strongest woman I knew. I cannot breathe and cannot stifle the sobs escaping my throat. She taught me that sentimentality was nothing to value, that it would only make you weak. I assumed you knew that too, princess. But I was wrong. It will be a good thing when the queen is back on the throne. The weak do not win. He snaps his fingers and the witches congregate around me. Now we shall use you to bait the fairy, and then everyone else will fall. I will unravel this effort at its heart. He nudges Chevalier's body. I look down at Chevalier's ashen face and sob. I let the tears gather in my eyes until I cannot see anything. Nothing matters anymore. Oh. The end. Bad end. Oh, the needles into the spool. Oh. terrified. I'm so sorry. Spool of needles. I keep killing these beautiful boys. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's so sad. He died so quickly. Ugh. Oh, that was depressing again. Ugh, my heart. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Rumple's Bad End. We're done again now with Cinderella Phenomenon for a little while. So that means we're going back to Never Forget Me. And this time, it's Sweet Lawrence's turn. I have no idea what problems we're going to find in our marriage to Lawrence, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. So, if you want to see me over there, guys, I hope I'll see you there. And until then, I'll see you later, guys.